So yeah, all right. So we got round two. Um, I want to try to play. I want to see how the like if we can't get the young pyromancer thing going. I just want to see how playing on a lower Yomi layer works. Now, for those not super familiar with the idea of a Yomi layer, being on like Yomi layer 7 doesn't mean that you're beating everyone 6 below. Usually that means you're tech to beat Yomi layer 6, right? And Yomi
Hmm.
layer 6 is tech to beat Yomi layer 5. So, like, the decks in this draft are all on Yomi layer 7. But as you saw, like, what if, like, I was thinking, it's like, that when they load us out the Ashiok, I was thinking on my hand, I'm like, what's the most powerful thing they could do? And it's like, if they had played Hero of Blade Hold off of that, there was a 0% win chance against that card. Like, I just lose on the spot, you know?
It's been a
Um,
long time since Hero Bladehold was such a winning card.
so, like, and Hero was just the one that came to mind. I'm certain there's a number of drops on 4 that are aggressive enough. Obviously, Ashiok had a similar outcome, but Ashiok also depends on your opponent being on a similar layer to you. Ashiok folds when your opponent's on pressure,
Hmm.
because Ashiok doesn't do jack to the board. So, but it's really good in a matchup where people aren't committing things to the board. Anyway,
Yeah,
underplayed.
Ashiok is a classic style of the Walker design where it you just have the three abilities that are all intertwined. They didn't necessarily all have to be pr- protect self, card advantage, and then ultimate.
Yeah. So stuff here that's interesting. Um, so when I say we want to be on a lower Yomi layers, that does not mean like no blue. That means more threat heavy, more dense with cards that take actions.
Hmm.
Um, what's fast bond feel like in this?
I don't know.
It's easier to get together some sort of crucible thing, but it's also less effective when like opponent just has Mox Soul Ring, like we lock them
Yeah,
out of
they
lands and they just don't care.
they put out the same amount of mana but didn't pay life for it.
Right. Oh my god. Nick Themron, thank you very much for gifting 20 subs.
Damn.
Damn. I appreciate that a whole ton. Um, Let me make this pick here and then I'll shout out everyone who got one so that I'm not on
Hey, I'm on there.
you
Nice.
are. So that I'm not on the time pressure here. Let me quick think though. Snapcaster feels really good. Time Twister feels really good. I'm not convinced I'm him to Turok.
Snapcaster, I really like here as a pick because it's 2-1.
Yeah. Right, it can attack and also works really well with the strong cards.
Yes.
Um like I think the obvious one is the Time Twister. Do we go with that or do we try something else with this? Do we want
I
like
think you take the Time Twister anyway.
and just see what we can do in a couple because honestly the Steam Vents was the other one I was thinking of too, so that's not but like a draw 7 is just like would have been one of the best cards to possibly draw in like most of those matches. So,
Hmm.
but we have to keep the idea in mind. All right. Now, while we're in this time, I can go ahead and say congrats to Savaldis, MDCT, Logical TU, Z-Ace, CRS Reverb, Validant, Abyss Hunted, Hydrite, Matt Not Hugh, S303, To Protect Flavor, uh, Never Known BST, Never Knows BST,
Never knows best.
Never Knows Best. Oh, right. There's another word you could have that doesn't have a vowel. So Robotron, Neil P. Stars 19, born the year 1919. Machin Chachi, Ghost Bastard. Next time 000. Ixeldan, Synesthetic, and Andrew McAllister. Also, thank you to Duetic for the sub as well. All right.
I feel like an effective Yomi Layer like 4 card that doesn't need that much preparation to actually work out and be a buster that'd be worthwhile to play, I think.
Uh huh.
Just prime time. What if you played a 6/6 that makes it a lot harder to deal with anything you'd play afterwards because you have extra lands to deal with things.
Like that side of go big?
Yeah, like Metamorph Prime Time, I think, is what I'm looking at here.
Okay.
And I think Simic might be a good direction to go in general. If you're trying to just beat out other players at, sneaking things underneath them, getting your own card advantage anyway, but in a different way.
Right. Vortex is a different, like,
Vortex is also a good...
Vortex is like literally on the Yomi layer 0. It's the I'm
Exactly.
killing you move.
Yeah, and that's not a bad play either, I would pick either of those, but if you did pick one, they'd be mutually exclusive.
Let's try
I
this then.
think.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I see that Dark Confidant, and that's one of the ones. And Hero Blade Hold.
Straight up Hero Blade Hold, we did just say earlier.
That's the card I mentioned as the one that if you do get to slam it down,
okay.
a lot of the decks don't have answers.
Then I've got a recommendation here then.
All right.
Don't pick Time Twister 2, pick Geist and Hero.
And just, these are the threats?
Yes.
These are the threats we live with?
Mm-hmm.
This is a deck I think Spell Pierce would rule in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we ignore the fact that we picked Prime Time. Maybe we don't. But as it is, I think if you just do this and make your deck aggressive blue-white, that works. What's up?
How you doing?
He's got 0 thumbs. Double or nothing.
Yo, isn't this card busted in here?
Oh, damn. Shit.
Isn't that card busted in here?
It could be pretty busted in here. Just doubling up. Double or nothing.
Well, it's not even nothing. It doesn't counter it. It bounces the spell if you fail. So, like, if you have triple blue, you just go recall, recall, recall. Like, okay. How about this? We get to draft 3. I just try to do some dumb Karak stuff. But we talked about this plan. Let's make this work.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Mana Crypt definitely gets in here. Yeah.
That lets me cast, like, very early bits on this. Mono Leak would be fine. Preordain's fine.
The Mana Crypt is definitely the big draw opener here. Everything else here is gravy. That's not a bad idea.
This is one of the reasons to be in white, like legitimately, because that says blue to give a spell buyback on that active. And like, how many time walks do you want,
Yeah.
So Preordain and Mono Leak are also cool.
If you've got Time
here.
Walk in your hand, 6 mana, you won the game.
Yeah.
Is what that card reads.
Obviously, Preordain and Mono Leak are cool here too, but I kind of want to set this up and get this going early, especially because this works with what I said about literally just getting in on the aggression plan. So we're more aggressive, less like...
I think the kind of aggressive that we want to be is just, how... What's a normal draft deck's good creature count?
Like 16-ish is what I'd assume.
We'd probably go a little bit lower than that, but we should get to double digits, I think.
Yeah.
Is the goal.
Here's one that's strong. This is basically Steal a Mox. We got the Mana Vault if we want to go big that way. We got Mystical Tutor. This is one of the weirdest hate bear making some air quotes cards because it's like the most like narrow ability in the universe.
It really is, because that doesn't make the loyalty ability one more loyalty. That makes it cost mana, is what that says.
Right, and like costing 1 is really, really...
It's almost nothing.
Enough. I want to grab this tutor and see if we find something. Like, again, this might be good with the combo setup if we have that.
If that said that they cost 1 more loyalty to activate, but then if they did that, they would have to actually make a symbol to put on a card to do that. Which I don't think they have You know what? I'm willing to bet in development that's what that card read, but then they realized we'd have to, not necessarily invest, but create a symbol for that. And they didn't necessarily want to commit to that without it being a mechanic in the set.
Right. Okay. Cool stuff here. On color signet, relic warder, Venser, miscalc, monolith.
Relic Warder
That is,
will have something to target, like flat out, and is
yeah.
a bear.
Again, disruptive is the idea.
Yeah.
The hope being, like, we get to hit a land with that.
The Venser is also good.
Venser is kind of incredible. This card
Yeah.
is a card that just always gets to do some heavy lifting.
Yeah, I think Venser Signet would be my go.
Like, the thing with Reaper weak because nobody's killing a creature. Yeah, there's a 3/2, no text, right?
Hey, 3/2 no Texas wins games.
We've seen 3/2 no text do some pretty heavy lifting. I think Venser.
To be fair, you lost a brain freeze that game, but that could have killed you too.
Fair.
All right, on color Mox. Teferi could come back again. That's not bad.
That fits decently, and like I like the idea here because it pushes through our threats too,
and it protects your creatures.
Yeah. Well, I also like this Teferi for being an answer to heavy bullshit. You know, if our opponent,
absolutely.
If our opponent turned 2 Tinkers for Blightsteel, boink. Other pick in here is the Soulfire Grandmaster, the next. Just because, but we don't have the time lock for the combo, so I'm not super committed to it yet. If we had the time lock, I think I'd pick this a little more, but on color Mox and a Teferi, sweet. Sorry, what? Okay.
So here's the thing. When I saw this card, my brain got very confused. It got confused with one of the outpost sieges or whatever they're called.
Yeah, dragons.
And I thought that this basically said, like, a whole bunch of things merged in my head at the same time, where this said something like, choose cats or soldiers, or something like that. You choose cats every time.
Yeah. We're not a deck that makes use of that. This looks like Monolith and Legionnaire. Not exactly this is not the type of threat I want.
Yeah, it's...
But it is a threat.
It's also... Is Lotus Petal not good enough? As a one-time Mox?
It might,
probably not.
I don't know. In our deck, again, if our idea is play a super threat,
then maybe it is actually.
Like,
I like the Mana Leak. It would be between, like, for me, Legionnaire or Petal. I don't think it's Elish Nard. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
We're topping out at 4 right now.
I kind of like the idea of trying to push out a super threat. Like, this might be incorrect because Legionnaire might just be a better 2 threat, but Mox Emerald, Soul Ring, another snaps. Hey. Trigon can be super disruptive, but I don't see us being in green right now. Even with the green Mox. Snaps is the only card I think I'd pick over these two.
Probably.
And, I'm not going to. Colonnade, Strip Mine, Volark, Dig. This isn't too exciting. I say looking at pack that contains, like, Strip Mine opposition. Colonnade's fine, but I really would not want... I honestly don't know how much I want Lance tapped. It's probably fine on 1. Strip Mine just feels irrelevant. I think the third one after that would be Gear Hulk. We don't have a ton for Gear Hulk yet, but we still have half the draft left to try to find, like, recall for that. And, like, if it's just Monolith, that's okay. Or, like, the Biggie. I don't feel like Dig Through Time's going to do work for us because we're not throwing a lot of stuff in the yard. Another Mox. What the heck do I want here? Karn? How much metal do we have? Actually, a pretty hefty amount of metal. I'm picking another Mox here. Like, this could get reasonably strong just attacking. You know, another threat I could, like, turn 1, 2, get out and push. Sun Titan, Chromox, Memory Jar.
The music I was just listening to just a second ago had a sound in it that sounded exactly like my kind of getting buzzed in. I was very confused and went to go check. There was no one there.
Well, we picked up Karn and another Mox, and now I'm looking at this pack trying to decide what we want. Like, we got Chromox, we got Phantasmal Image, Sun Titan, Brain Freeze.
Yeah. I actually don't know what to do with this pack.
Grab these two. Funnily enough,
Resto Angel?
yeah, Resto's great. You know, great enough here. Like Impulse or Top? Probably just Top.
Top would make another artifact on the ground.
Yeah.
Twister, we could have had 3 Twisters in this deck.
Goodness.
In particular, I'm actually particularly glad you didn't grab the second one now because we got a chance at the second one here, and I don't know if third one would have been valuable, you know?
Yeah. I don't see much I want in here.
And there's the young Pyromancer this late. It's the last, well, not last, but, you know, 5th from the last pack at this point.
Right. Twister. I don't want Wall of Omens. That's nothing. Hangerback Walker's really slow. Maybe it's just Consecrated Sphinx.
You've got a lot of top end you're probably not playing, but it's probably okay. Tezzeret?
Yeah, how many 5s am I playing?
Yeah, it's a good question. But you've got none right now.
Yeah, also I have a ton of artifacts to make these fine.
Mm-hmm.
Elspeth Conquers Death is also a really good card. Is that better than Teferi in this deck? That might be better than Teferi in this deck.
It does say permanent.
Yeah, 3 CMC greater. The second line's generally okay. The third line is more helpful. The thing is, like, Teferi, as I mentioned, Teferi is really good with, like, having a lot of things to do with off it. You know, having recall, counterspell. Our deck barely has anything to hold on to that like that. Whereas Tez might just be like, come down, plus, and then threaten the game. This is the wrong Lotus.
Lotus Bloom is good in other formats. It's not great here.
Yeah. Remand Signet. Ooh, Skyclave also. Again, just answers. We have a lot of metal. Hi.
Time walk. There it is. Oh, actually, speaking of metal.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that turns a.
Ooh.
Because the thing about Urza is that Urza works at all speeds. You know,
Yeah.
does create an aggressive creature on top of being a strange control plan by himself.
Yeah, so we have the combo. Not sad to pass up Tundra, but that's yeah, it's fine. Mana Leak Impulse? Mana Leak Path?
Yeah, all of your artifacts give you mana. You don't need to spend it on the mana on them.
Yeah, the workshop doesn't work in this deck.
Yeah.
Urza's a very dumb card.
Urza is such a it is a huge shame that the Yawgmoth card is not nearly as good as the Urza
It
card.
really is. Get out of here.
It's like
Titan.
they made them to be, two different cards that are all plans by themselves, but Yawgmoth's is just so much weaker than Urza's is.
How much do I care about the twisters in this deck?
I like one.
Yeah, like
As a you don't have any way to completely ruin your opponent's grab on it, but
yeah, I don't like giving my opponent 7 cards in this, especially because like we don't have much.
the reason why I'm going to argue for it is that your opponent's going to be drawing 7 cards anyway, because they're also going to have a time twister. Now, I don't necessarily think that that is going to hold up in court here or anything, but that would be my approach to why I'd play it anyway.
Looking at what else we got here. The 6s are probably where we start cutting. Fat Swordsman, thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it.
Because you have Time Walk in your deck, I think the Gear Hulk is better than the Sun Titan.
Doesn't work that way. Everybody thinks it works that way. This says instant.
It says instant?
That ain't no instant.
Dang.
Yeah. I still don't disagree. Problem is Gear Hulk literally only has Model-League Mystical Tutor in this deck.
Well, if that's the case, then
Like that
Titan picks up. Titan also doesn't pick all that much, all things considered. He grabs snaps, which then can grab your Time Walk. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think the Gear Hulk does anything for us other than being like an artifact, which matters for some stuff. Titan for Lotus Petal. I'm just looking down the list, see if there's anything I don't really like.
The thing about Consecrated Sphinx, and one of the reasons why it's so good, aside from being a flying 4/6, which will kill your opponent very quickly, that's a may. It's not a you have to. If you're worried about decking yourself, you can just not draw the cards. It's fine.
Yeah, just thanks, I'm good. Resto is just sort of here. Resto has Venser, Skyclave, Snapcaster, Sun Titan, Metamorph. A attacking guy. Okay, maybe there's a little more enough.
There's actually a reasonable number of targets for Resto.
Yeah, I was like going down the line of every time I added one, it's like, okay, this actually sounds. I'm keeping the mystical tutor because we have a time walk. If I like that, actually would be a pretty easy cut here without time walk.
Yeah, because otherwise the other things you'd want to make sure was in your hand. It's pretty much just Time Twister, and even then, that Time Twister is currently a debatable keep anyway. Pretty much exact evens down the line, I think. Yeah, slightly heavier blow.
All right, we'll see how this plays. We might change out this top threat to be like Sun Titan instead of Sphinx or something like that. But as is, we're here for doing actual combat?
We're deliberately playing on a lower level of brain activity on purpose to see if this is actually more functional against other players who are operating on levels beyond what this is.
Yeah. I feel like we're going to take some obvious losses. Like,
yes,
when you're on, because, there's the Tinker Blight Steel, that sort of line.
What do you do about that?
You
There's very few ways to deal with that. That's kind of part of the reason why it's so powerful.
Right. So, or even if it's like, well, you can path that. You can ramp into Teferi or something. It's like, well, what if it's Tinker Bolus Citadel, you die on one like we showed? Like, so that the rhetorical question doesn't have the ha-ha answer to it. But, like, there are things you can do on turn one that end the game. We've shown this. We've stormed off on one. Our opponent could just tinker for Inkwell Leviathan and we lose just as quickly. Or, not quickly, assuredly. I can't beat that card.
Keep it because of Skydiver.
Yeah. All right, how bad's the one? Playing Probe.
For the mana. Yeah, that's not free. Because they didn't have anything to do on one.
Yep.
So, toss the leak, probably?
Yeah, is that better than just tossing the... Because, like, if I don't draw a land next turn, the leak is one of the things we can do.
That's fair.
The Venser might be the better throw here.
This is something that depends on what your opponent does, and unfortunately they didn't tell us anything. So, it's, probably the Venser.
I'm going to go with the Venser based on if we don't draw anything next turn, I'm going to want the Venser. Or I'm going to want the leak as an option, just so we don't get obliterated. If we draw a land, I get a hero. We also have Thieving Skydiver as an option, too. So... The only card I wouldn't throw is Elspeth Conquers Death or Hero under that, because I don't want to show them that I didn't draw land, and I don't want to get rid of my best threat. The entire
You might also
idea
intimidate them from playing their artifacts.
Yeah, knowing that Thief exists.
Yeah.
I'd love to steal a Mox. Oh!
You discarded Moldrifter? Rude. Okay, they're fine with playing that now because you need to rip it.
And we're off lands for a while, so...
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine. I have Mana Link. Tough choice to make. That makes sense if they know we're light on mana sources, right? Yup.
Urza is in our deck, yes.
Mm-hmm. That time they paid for the probe. for the with life. Obviously, they always pay for you. You don't actually always pay for this. The pro's a free card. That's what this card does. Okay, tap to land. Okay, we can't thieving skydive. That's Signet.
Not till next next mana, and if you do that, you're paying your entire hand turn for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it just because like pulling them off mana seems like it should be useful. Probe 7 times, then brain freeze. Easy. Come on. If this is anything meaningful at all, Mana Leak it. Awkward. Killing our Signet was like incredibly strong. I can't stress how back-breaking that play has been.
Ah, same hat. I see.
I can steal your token. I think this is just Urza.
If you play Urza, you can then steal the token.
You can't pay 0.
X can't be 0. Damn. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And it's X or less.
Yeah, so you can steal it if you pay 1, but you have to pay 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather resolve Urza than steal the token there. Because we can steal the token later.
Right. Straight 3 color.
Looking like it. The other reason to not steal the token immediately, like that turn, is because like they might hold on to some sort of artifact play, knowing that this exists, right? They just spinning.
Yeah.
They're just spinning. Is their hand that bad?
No. They're stealing the construct? Oh, right, yeah. Because if they just grab Urza, that kills it.
Yeah. Well, I'm stealing that back. At some point. It's interesting. We've run into an opponent on a different Yomi layer. This is actually a main deck treachery is somebody who cares about creatures, right? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
we've one card left in hand. I think they're on Urza spins.
Treasure Cruise.
Nope. Was hope.
Don't worry. It was 3 planes.
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, they're on the same Yomi level as we are, actually. This is just a regular match of Magic,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, Tails. Kingdom for the... Yeah, that Signet kill was so strong. So I have to steal one of the tokens. I think I just do that and leave up Mana Leak.
Probably.
It's going to be very hard to use Mana Leak against this opponent. The reason I'm leaving the treachery one there is that I could possibly choose to Elspeth Conquers Death to remove the treachery. Obviously, I'm more likely to kill Urza with that, but I want to leave the possibility. Okay, let's try the last hit I can afford to take like that. Okay. We're just on spinners. Okay. So I can Skyclave here. Either killing their own construct or getting rid of their Urza. Let's see if it resolves first, I suppose. I feel like the Urza's the bigger threat with this much mana around. Like, I can Elspeth Conquer's Death to get the token back next turn. Oh, non-token. This can't hit tokens? Good lord, modern cards have a lot of text on them. Skydiver has to stay back. I need to jump block the token. I think it's because I've used it on... Oh dear, what is this? Gearhulk? Hmm.
Shark Typhoon. For a 6/6. That draws them a card.
Uh-huh. Guess I'm glad I didn't attack with the Skydiver. We would have died on the spot.
Huh. Elspeth Conquers Death to grab your construct back?
Yeah, the problem is the shark's still in play.
Yeah.
That's game. They just bounce Skydiver. We take 6.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 100%.
We're dead on board there. Okay. I guess I care about Path to Exile in this match.
Welcome to regular Magic the Gathering,
Yeah.
here in the Vintage Cube Supreme.
Impressed because, again, killing our Signet, like, took us from a really strong-looking hand to one that they were able to, like, slow down so much we couldn't do anything.
Yep.
I like the Resto here. I don't think I'd cut that.
Resto is a flying creature that goes over their board that they were making.
Yeah, I like it specifically because it's one of our few flyers. I don't know if I like Twister in this match.
Yeah, no, in this match, I don't like Twister.
Like, Elspeth Conquer's Death would have been fine last match, but the problem was literally that were off double white. That has
that was
much less
again,
of a problem
that was
with
because of the
this
Signet.
card, and much more that we got bopped
Mhm.
there, which might be a problem with the fact of us just having so many double white cards. That I can
You
believe
do
is
have a lot of double white cards,
more of an
yeah.
issue, but I don't think the power of the card is in question. It's
It would have been good. It would have gotten rid of Urza earlier, and then you could have actually used the other one to get rid of it, and that would have given the shark, and then that would have given them nothing. This can mystical tutor for time walk for an explore. This is better, sort of. Not
no,
really.
no, I hate this hand.
This is better because they can get the flyer out, and also if you draw something you want to snap, you can snap and then use your resto to get the snap again.
All right, how good is Resto Angel?
Can you defeat a turn 1 3/4 flyer?
Our own Monocrypt might outrace us. Shit.
Mm.
Our opponent's willing to pull the trigger on our mana, and it's the secret of like killing our ass. Our ass just cannot
Very
deal with that.
impressive. Very impressive.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They're very, very. It's very strong to do so. Urza, turn 2, Urza.
Okay, you lose.
All right, let's move on to round 2. All right.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's
Oh, that's good.
they know what they're doing. Also, that actually, that might be really effective to use specifically because we were on the same level. If you could do the same thing to them, that would have ruined them.
Right, like it's powerful because our plan is turbo out a threat, and if we can't do the turbo out a threat thing, we blow up. In the Yomi 7 decks, the turbo is more allowing you to cast multiple things on a turn rather than one big threat. Urza, obviously, that's what they were doing as well. They're turboing out a threat. I'd love to play first.
Okay. Colonnade is online on turn 2.
That's my threat.
Yeah.
That's my game-ending threat.
It's a 4/4 with flying and vigilance. Who can deal with that? It's also a land.
All right, Colonnade, Mox, Monocrypt, Signet. I'm not playing top.
Not when you can mana leak.
We've seen that players can just kill you on one. Like,
Mm-hmm. Oh, they played an island. That's scary.
yep. Tails has yet to fail us. Ooh.
Recall in response. Yeah. How about no thanks?
Nah, I'm good, actually.
Draw 3 cards? Nah, that's your way. Because you did. Quantum Eraser, you kept a 1-lander with recall, didn't you? Oh! Ooh!
You know what the best part there
good
is?
Magic.
You know what the best part there is? I expected the days. I expected the days on Karn. Are they digging for a force?
No. Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty big construct, by the way.
Here's my threats.
That sequence was so good. I love it.
Okay.
Fucking actual Arcanus the Magnificent over there
I know.
with his dazing after Ancestral Recall.
We won the flip.
What's up, Urza?
How you doing? I'm not even playing
Karn
you.
and Urza hanging out together again at last.
I'm not even playing Urza here.
No, of course not, but... if you play the top... No, you can't, right?
Yeah, I have to post combat at the top, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what we talked about turbo threats?
This is what this deck is supposed to do.
Yeah. Minimal disruption, turbo threats. Alright, so can you storm off and kill us? Okay.
They might have been able to if you hadn't forced them to use the days.
Right, bounce their land back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I feel really good about that. I almost want the path in here again. So, my reasoning. The one card they discarded was Fallen Shinobi.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
I getcha.
again, I'm just gonna... Yeah, Fallen Shinobi means creatures exist.
By virtue of ninjutsu and how it works, it requires at least 2 creatures.
Mm-hmm. And they're probably just things like Snapcaster, Thieving Skydiver, or something, but I think we just keep cutting the twister. I just, like, we can't stop them from drawing 7, and I never want to push them to draw 7.
I now realize where the fault of my logic was earlier. I said, but they're playing draw 7s anyway. Which means that we are going to benefit from their draw 7, right? It's how it works.
If they ever do, yeah. Okay.
Before you even get the chance to play mana.
Once bitten. You know how it is. Alright,
This is a top as valuable play, I think. Oh, right, yeah, I guess. Top next turn then.
yeah. I'm gonna wait on it just because Leak is something that, like, because they're gonna be on 9 cards, they're likely to want to cast something.
Here comes the 7 get probes and brain freeze.
I'll fight you on Soul Ring. Okay, that's great. That's so much better on Leak than it is on Teferi next turn. Best draw is Plains. Right?
For apparition targeting Soul Ring?
No, Thieving Hell Dude.
Oh, yeah, right. Thieving Hell Dude.
I forget it. Thieving Magpie. Thieving Goodbye Fallen Shinobi. All you do is die.
Be dead down here, you persistent guy.
I think I'm fine with this. It's annoying.
Where are they gonna hit?
If they could do this twice, I'd actually hate it.
Yes. But they're going to get rid of one thing of our redundant cards,
Oh my
basically.
god. Do they have to hit my Teferi because Teferi bouncing your Chromox sucks?
Maybe? Honestly? Yeah, because you're doing that next turn if they don't do it, right?
Yeah. Because, like, bouncing Soul Ring is minor. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so we have a couple draws that are super strong right here. We have a couple draws that are okay strong right here.
I
Technically
mean, it's
counts.
okay.
Technically counts.
Yeah.
Stop my upkeep.
Welcome back to Sensei's Divining Top Hour, where Sensei's Divining Top
Yep.
has you stop on upkeep.
Yep. The thing that makes this super cool is that if they kill this, they just don't get it back. They get a 1/1. So the Soul Ring's off the table. No longer a threat.
Snaps Plains Island.
Probably just want to draw land here.
Yeah.
Like, I can't snaps the leak here.
Yeah, not with this amount of mana. You need at least the plan. You can kind of need both lands to be able to do that, and also top.
It'll be fine. If they play something next turn, I can Elspeth Conquers Death it, as long as it's, you know, sizable. If it's not, I can just pass and leave up Snapcaster Leak. Okay, we're not going to even look here. That's not worth our time at the mo. Play that. All right, let's get in. From here, I basically don't need to draw lands, but having a leak seems pretty good here. No, thank you. That's the power at top. Ooh. Do I want that colonnade right now?
Hmm.
That threatens lethal.
Yeah.
It,
It's beefy, and it's hard to answer.
there's also a play backed up by the Elspeth. Okay, they need to do something or die. So,
That's always a nice place to be.
yeah, we're pressuring. Let's see what sort of do they have. Fractured Identity the second. Okay.
Snaps Recall.
The reason this card's still played, even in like silly zone, is because it can target mana rocks and such. This card is incredibly dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So, Can you answer this?
Can you answer a flying bunch of rocks? You need either a flyer, an instant speed way of... Oh, well, that does it. Wow. Wow. What a rip. What a rip.
That'll do it.
What a move. Also, Glenelunch Archmage. Gross.
Okay. It's a pain. At least our deck is a lot of... Not that Urza. Countered? Remand. Okay. Okay. They're trying to buy out of this, you know, and I think pretty well, right? Like
Yeah, definitely.
they are getting pretty solidly in control of the game. One of the good-ish things we have is that like Glenelundra is a little weaker against us. Not by much, but like a little bit. Counter Force of Will Hardcast. Oh god, a cryptic. Ooh, okay. That's what I figured.
Prospect Conqueror's Death's third ability there is not something that they can interact with.
No, but we can't resolve it.
Right, yeah.
Starting strong, your opponent draws 11 more cards over the course of the game. Yeah. It's top once again. That could do it. Can this resolve? I don't think so. I think they just have 2 more counter spells in hand, but I'm willing to move to 3. The reason I'm willing to move to 3 there is I can't really resolve any more threats. Like, even if their hand's empty, like, I can't resolve either of these spells, and my top of deck is, like, top and 2 lands. So. Okay. So our opponent is trying to play hefty control. We just need to not let them get to that position.
Yeah.
They've got really good cards for it, too. That's killer.
We're currently encountering the problematic state of our opponent's deck is pretty good.
Well, this is awkward.
Turn 1-0. You can leave. Sorry, you can't leave a mana leak because you don't have any other mocks.
No.
It's still okay.
Any
It's not
land
great.
turns us
Yeah.
on is the thing. I'm.
hmm
This is awkward. I'm gonna keep it because like basically any land turns us on.
Yeah, because then you have both Venser, or you have either Venser or Hero online.
Yeah.
Do you have a colorless in this deck?
Well, of course we do. Moxes.
Yeah. Right. No, I mean, okay, yeah, no, basically.
I can just
yeah.
draw Mox. Those are off color.
Colonnade also makes this slow. If you draw
I'd be
Colonnade.
I'd be fine with Colonnade though. That would actually like freaking do something here. I'm leading with the planes because I want that. I'm putting out into the world that I want to play it hold.
Right.
We passed. This crypt is kind of nice to see.
I kind of want your opponent to play Urza now. It would be not a good thing exactly, but like,
Yeah. We could copy it.
yeah, that would give you double blue.
Nice. Okay. So we just go for this. Metamorphic Soul Ring does nothing to this hand, President Arc. That's not the problem.
You can do that though, yes.
Yeah,
but it doesn't do anything.
But it doesn't. That's not the problem here. Like,
it's colored mana.
like we, you know. Okay.
No, Hero Blade Hold was chosen on purpose.
We're trying out something interesting, trying out something different. Our deck, we specifically chose this. I wanted to see how powerful, like, get a creature in under them was. The problem is we're running into decks where that's just, like, also what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can hero with Mono Link back up.
Yeah. I want the Decryptic now. That would use up all of their mana.
Oh my god. All right.
How many remands is too many remands to play in a deck?
I think our opponent is literally 20 counterspells.
20 counterspells in Urza is a pretty good play. Hey, don't worry about it. Mana Crypt will deal with it.
I know. We're winning through Mana Crypt pretty easily here, obviously.
Nice Sulfuric Vortex you played, idiot. When you were already down half-life. This kills them one turn faster.
Yes. Can I, like, donate you this Metamorph?
You do have to pay the Phyrexian, though. You gotta do the life if you're gonna get this Metamorph. Okay? You're legally required to. I also recommend you copy your Mana Crypt. At this point, do you kind of want to just leave up Venser?
I'm gonna play Soulfire Grandmaster and leave up Venser.
Yeah.
They'll know, but...
But at the same time, it will kill them. Mana Crypt will kill them as time goes on, so...
Yeah. Cryptic.
Cryptic. For counter draw.
I'm not bouncing your
If you play,
cryptic. Like, yeah, I'm not
if you
bouncing that.
play, hold on a second, I just had a thought.
Huh? Huh?
If you play Phyrexian Metamorph, turning it into Venser, targeting your own Venser, does that take like because it has not entered the battlefield yet, so the legendary rule doesn't apply, right?
I would be able to get the Venser, like, but I couldn't
Yeah.
bounce itself.
Right. Yeah. I just mean getting the original Venser back. That's all I mean.
No, I would have to. I would have to sacrifice the Metamorph. Legend rule would kill them the moment the trigger goes on the stack.
Okay. All right.
Because Legend rule happens at any time any player gains priority.
Okay.
Treachery? Thank you. That's the perfect draw. The reason that's the perfect draw is because I feel like they have a daze. So,
You're slamming down Sphinx now?
yeah. Uh-huh. Why I'd love to. All right, we got there.
All right, nice.
So yeah, this deck does function when we, like... So yeah, again, the idea here is very specifically trying to build a deck that plays a turn one game-ending threat. You know, our Geist of Saint Traft, our hero, and then, like, just roll. And I think it does okay at that. In the sense that, like, if we run into opponents who are a little bit higher up on the Yomi layer, we'll be fine. But I think people have figured out that living on 7 is too high of a Yomi layer. Like
It's too predictable in its own way.
right.
Like, because if you know that your opponents are going for it, it's not the hardest thing in the world to disrupt it.
Yeah.
Those forces are all over the place. The force of negations that will ruin most of those plans pretty easily by itself.
Yeah, I mean, our draft 1 was a pretty good show of that.
Yeah, where they're stuffable. You can stuff a combo deck off like that, even if it's without even that much stuff to do it with.
This deck is missing a Force of Will.
I feel like every deck from this format has been missing a Force of Will.
Yeah,
Force of Will has to be in here, right?
it is. We've been forced. Yeah, the depth is all blue. That is the truth. That's the at the end of the day, this format is mono blue and blue X decks. If you're not on that, something you've likely made a mistake. Like, as far as, like, best deck goes. If you're just drafting Goblin Guides and Bolts, go for it. Hope you're having the greatest day, you know?
But you could also do Izzet, Goblin Guides, and Bolts, and also have Time Locks.
Yeah. I want to fit one more of these in, and I want to try to do Young Pyromancer. That's my hope. Blur and Blargle, yes, I like to play first. I need the mana for the combo.
If you just had a little bit more fast mana in here, turn 1 Geist of Saint Traft would be... That's invincible, right? You can't beat that.
Yeah. Turn 3 is way too slow, though. I think we mulligan this. This is a good hand in a normal... This is an incredible hand in a normal cube. Like, bulldogging this looks like, a greed decision.
It's like your
But,
plan is
but,
if you keep that hand, what this there you go. Okay, here we are. Turn 2 Geist is gonna do it.
mhm,
This is the better version of that. This is that other hand, but cooler, but good.
yeah. What do I want to keep here? I'm either throwing
The mana
Venser.
leak, I think.
I'm either
You need the mystical
throwing.
tutor.
It's only grabbing Time Walk, but Time Walk with Geist is a,
Is a
bug.
beating. Yeah.
Venser's also really strong. We don't have the mana for Venser.
You only need one of any land, or even another Mox or anything to be able to play Venser.
Go ahead and put Venser down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's lie.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and tutor up Time Walk, and then we're just going to not play it.
Mm-hmm. Or mana leaking something, right? Like, that's a.
Yeah, it's actually a very, very possible play. Consider mana leaking, yeah, the Sol Ring. That's a good ass play here, I think. What's the chances that
Okay.
they?
You know what? We ate the days again.
It's fine. That means it's not targeting the Geist.
We would have lost to that, so.
Yep. And it still puts them back in mana. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What does tutor grab anymore?
A mana leak. The best play here is like Hull Breaker. Because just, literally something that blocks Geist, right?
Yeah. The weak, fleshy part of the Geist of Saint Traft that's just a 2/2.
Okay.
They resolved to just let you hit them for 12 here.
Well, they don't
Is
know
what
about
this
the Time
is.
Walk.
Oh, right. Yeah, you didn't mystical tutor for. You just drew it. Criminal. Absolute wizard over here.
I'm twisting.
If you only give them 2 cards, but you get 7, that's pretty good. Plus, you disrupted their hand, They might be planning on the stuff that they have in there. Mana Crypt Island and keep up leak. Let's go. Or
steal their Soul Ring.
yeah, or steal their Soul Ring. Pretty good.
Steal their Soul Ring puts lethal on the board.
Yeah.
All right. Your go. The Twister finally did something? Oh my god, the Twister worked. I can't believe the Twister worked. Anyway, that's the
Pretty
deck.
good.
That's the deck. Soul Steel.
See, I am glad that in the end my decision to keep at least one Twister in was correct.
Yeah, because we drew the time walk. Like,
Because you drew the time walk, yeah.
I don't really see changes I want here. The Twister might be bad because they do have Narset.
Yeah.
But like,
You've proven to them that you have it, which means now it's time to get rid of it so you never have to play it again.
of course. I don't know what I want over it though.
I don't know either. They didn't really, because they seem to be playing more of the lines of a regular deck here, where they're not really playing creatures.
Yeah. 39 cards, please.
Hey, if only we could, right?
Yeah. I guess I'll just keep it in. Maybe we'll be able to spam out our hand like that again and use it. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what the deck is supposed to do. You have so much artifact mana, you just haven't been drawing it that much. This has not much.
This is a little too awkward.
Yeah.
This is super on the back of Thieving Skydiving.
This does let you steal something, but at the same time, there's a decent chance of them dazing it.
Yeah. Okay,
This
just didn't the mana.
This just needs the mana. This is okay.
Yeah.
Top is too good as far as like I don't think you can get rid of top here. Signet is not as valuable as the Sol Ring, maybe, but at the same time, that is your white mana.
Yeah. I need that for the white mana. If I got rid of this,
So is it Mox Emerald?
I think it might be. Yeah.
Because yeah, you Island Sol Ring
Okay.
is already a Signet as your first move in this.
So this line does, if they're super heads up, let them daze us out.
Yeah, because they just get rid of the Sol Ring, and then you've
That's not an island.
we're good.
Nice.
And Plains actually is an even better play than the island.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the island to threaten a daze. They haven't seen that we don't have it. Because the next turn I can play the plains and have double white.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot top here.
Nope.
Okay. Skyclave Apparition's really good. We can like answer some sort of like mana rock they play.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have stuff like that. And then top, honestly, this is another hand that like Twister looks really good in.
Yep.
Okay.
Four colors. Probably just playing Recto Signet for the red. I would do assume.
Or even as a colorless rock if they're that deep.
Maybe. Unbelievable. What a good rip.
We just top and do that, right?
Yeah, you don't need the apparition. Just go for it. Again, when you outdraw your opponent off the Time Twister and they can't do anything to like interrupt this, then yeah, Time Twister is the primo play. Draw 6 versus opponent's draw 2 again. Plus, they kept this 7, so that means that this is possibly an enormous hand disruption thing. You drew a Time Walk. And Snapper snaps. And Soulfire Grandmaster in your
Yeah.
hand. You've got the combo. You can't do it right now.
Could do it
but you
next
can
turn.
also you can do it next turn easy.
Hold on, what's the... Does this work?
No, because it has to be from your hand.
From your hand. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Just had to... that's why I'm checking everything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just play the Mox. Hold the Crypt, pass.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have enough to do it through days next turn?
All right, then. I want your opponent to just tap out. They tap out, they lose.
Yeah, we get an infinite time lock. I also have just like Sphinx, you know? Okay. Okay.
Are you about to storm off? No. No, you're preparing for it, though. I think this is a storm deck, for what it's worth. They're playing Grixis.
Oh my god.
They tapped out.
They tapped out.
They're dead. They lose.
I think the...
They can pay 1 for Spell Pierce, but that doesn't do it.
Oh, that would be enough.
Is Spell Pierce pay 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's the only way that they could interrupt this.
Force of Will. Has lifelink. Had
And there we
lifelink! Perfect. I love Time Walk with lifelink.
Time Walk with Lifelink is pretty good.
Like,
I'm glad that even though it didn't come up until the last game,
the
you
Twister
picking
final.
this whole like the Time Walk and Grandmaster play came together.
Yeah, same. Having this this combo's real as hell. And like when you can have like this is a format where it's like basically you can just have a time walk. You're guaranteed a time walk. It's fine. It's time walk.
It's Time Walk.
I'm happy we had a round where Twister was the card. That card
Twister boned both games, just flat out.
Yeah. Cause like we slam Twister and then we draw 4 mana to play and immediately you're like, okay, cool, go. So yeah. I like the idea. I'm pretty happy on the idea.
Of unlimited Time Walks?
Of what the deck was trying to do.
Okay. Also of unlimited Time Walks?
Oh, I love unlimited. They have lifelink.
Yeah, lifelink Time Walk.
Yeah, I gain life from Time Walk. You know.
Time Walk basically does infinite damage in the right circumstance, right? So that means it gains you infinite life. It's like Infinity Elemental with lifelink. It's fine.
Yeah. I love
All right, well,
I love that. All right.
I cannot join you for the third one if you're going to do that third one.
Yeah.
But have a good one.
Thank you very much for joining for the first 2.
Mm-hmm. Magic.
Yeah. All right. And we are going to do a third one. It should be a lot quicker because we're going to try to do some red bullshit. We've already done like 3 recalls, 2 time walks. We've already done Storm. We've done some like aggressive beaters in white, which is fine. what if our opponents die to damage? We're going into extra innings for red, yeah. So that's the game plan here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step away for just a moment, get a drink, and then be right back. So see you in a moment.